a musical about truckers, Othello costumes, a local star in Mary Poppins, and highlights from the Colorado New Place Summit. It's March 2nd, 2010. I'm Charlie Miller, and this is 10 Minutes to Curtain. Hey everyone, When Tang Met Laika and Eventide just finished their successful runs, and now we're busy getting ready for the last 3 shows of the season that open at the end of March. The first is Mama Hated Diesels, a world premiere musical about long-distance truckers, which is why I've got my awesome Mama Hated Diesels trucker hat. Randall Myler and Dan Wheatman created the show from original interviews with truck drivers. Mix in the songs they like to listen to on the road and some beautiful photography by Jim Steinberg, and you've got quite a production.
Mama hated diesel so bad. I guess I knew it was something to do with Dad.
We go way back. I first met Dan when we did the Quilters tour out of the Denver Center. I was looking for a musician, musical director, and someone recommended this guy that played with John Denver. And so I called up Dan in Aspen, and he said he had the time, and so that's the first time we met, and ever since we've developed and worked on lots of shows together.
Well, I pulled out of Pittsburgh, rolling down that eastern seaboard.
We both are getting more and more interested in theater as sort of a Studs Terkel, Ken Burns thing. Do you know? Capturing the trucker and the family there, and not just the truck driver, but the wives of the truck drivers, what they go through when a long-haul trucker's on the road for 4 or 5 weeks at a time.
We've got these interviews, and they're telling a story, and then you want the song to either expound on what they're saying or provide a pivot into another window.
Oh, I'm looking at the world through a windshield, and I see everything in a little bit of different light.
With our projects, it often stems out of the music.
It's really a reflection of a body of people, a group of people that are living and experiencing a certain kind of life, and truck driving music reflects that life.
When you come to the place where the road and the sky collide, push me over the edge and let my spirit fly.
The life of a trucker is a difficult life. And the life of a trucker is something, they move America. I mean, if you bought it, a trucker brought it. I mean, that's a true statement.
They say that if the truck stopped rolling within 3 days, there'd be no food in the stores, and I mean, everything would just shut down.
White line fever.
You know, I think with all of the things that we've done, it's always to try to sort of move the curtain out of the way and show people something about a part of society that they maybe haven't thought about or don't know about or had preconceived ideas about, and show the humanity behind that.
Yes, I'll die with this fever in my soul. There's a little taste of it.
In 2 seasons of 10 Minutes to Curtain, I've shown you many different aspects of the production process, but I've never done a piece that focused entirely on costumes, and I've gotten a number of requests for such a segment. So this month I thought it would be interesting to look at the costume process for the upcoming production of Othello. I started by catching up with costume designer Bill Black to hear about his approach to one of Shakespeare's classics.
We've chosen to set Othello at the turn of the 20th century, and from a costume standpoint, particularly in the women's costume, it is right at 1900. We made this decision because it was important to us as a production team to make the story as immediate as we possibly could. And the turn of the century is probably the latest we could play and still be reasonably accepting of people who carry swords and have swords as their regular form of self-defense. This is my 3rd production of Othello, interestingly, and the only time that I've done it not in Renaissance costume. So it's been really interesting to me to explore these characters out of the context of the Renaissance. The turn of the century is still a time when women's clothing is restrictive and somewhat repressive. They're corseted, they're got up in ways that makes it harder for you to imagine them defending themselves. And in part, this is a story about a young and somewhat fragile woman who is thrust into a kind of all-male world without very much support. And it's a period where men are handsome and romantic and where women are quite lovely, and so it's been fun to explore that in the context of this particular play.
I also thought it would be fun to learn about how they make some of these beautiful costumes. So here to explain is the Denver Center's tailor, Sheila Morris.
For this production, one of my main projects is to make a suit for the character of Rodrigo, played by David Ivers. What I do is take the designer's renderings or concepts and using measurements that we take on the actors. We have a chart with 61 different measurements. I create patterns. This is a book I have that was first published in 1908, so that way I get the right shapes for the different parts of the garment, and then it will look like a coat from that time period. And then once I've drafted the pattern, I make it up out of this brown paper. The next thing I do is I cut it out of muslin, a less expensive cotton fabric. You can see from all the pins and marks that I made changes in the fitting, and we mark all that on the mock-up, and then I correct my pattern and cut it out of the real fabric, put it together again, fit the actor again, and then finish the costume up. The next time I'll see it on the actors, probably at dress rehearsal, and then the show's open. And then it's the responsibility of the wardrobe department, which is a whole different group of people.
As you may know, Disney and Cameron Mackintosh's production of Mary Poppins is coming to town for a run at the Buell Theater. Now, I usually don't cover the national Broadway tours, but this one is special because it features a familiar Denver Center actor. 11-year-old Bryce Baldwin was in A Christmas Carol and Richard III last season before he was cast as Michael Banks on the Mary Poppins tour. He's been on the road for 7 months and is excited to return to Colorado and perform at the Buell. Before Bryce joined the national tour, I caught up with him over the summer at his small farm in Thornton. Check out this month's bonus features to see my special visit to Baldwin Acres. And now for a quick Your Turn. This month, in honor of Mama Hated Diesels, we want to hear your stories from on the road. Send us your videos, pictures, and anecdotes, and we'll share them on the Denver Center blog. As usual, you can post a video, post a comment, or send an email to 10minutes@dcpa.org. And to conclude this month's episode, I'd like to share with you some highlights from the 5th Annual Colorado New Play Summit. I had a lot of fun making video blogs throughout the festival, and I compiled some of my favorite moments in case you missed it. Enjoy, tune in the first Tuesday in April for another new episode, and I'll see you in the theater. It's Monday, February 8th. I've got my all-access pass, and I'm ready to bring you an exclusive view of our 5th Annual New Play Festival.
So we are definitely launched the 2010 Colorado New Play Summit.
I saw the reading of Tang and Laika last year at the Colorado Play Summit, and I'm so excited to see the show tonight. Hooray!
I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for our first reading.
The reading of Map of Heaven went great, I think. It was so wonderful to see the play in front of an audience and really get a sense of how it plays.
We're going to see The Catch. It's about baseball, and I love baseball.
Someone said that he drops the ball, though.
Spoiler!
I'm totally calm. I feel like I should be giving you something in terms of my nerves, but I'm not. It's been a great week.
We just finished a delicious dinner. Now on to the reading of Civilization, All You Can Eat by Jason Grote.
Jason Grote is a major psychotic genius, and I cannot wait to see what he's come up with this time.
The Playwright Slam just ended, and now Kent's taking a picture with all our commissioned playwrights. Take a look.
I'm exhausted but very happy. Lots of great new work, lots of great responses to it. Can't wait for today. Hope I make it through.
Now it's early. Looking forward to seeing what we think.
How's the spirits?
It's a wave of plays, and we're having a great time.
Chile, South America, it's a different ball game completely and a different mindset.
I just hope we can continue a peaceful coexistence of love and harmony.
Eventide just got out. It was the last performance of the summit, and now we're heading to the farewell reception.
Hey, it's all over! It was a great weekend.
So we had 4 incredibly different readings, all sorts of different stories being told. It's our 5th year, and I think we're really hitting our stride.